Alright, Shalom. I'd like to begin this video first and foremost by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakah Kadash Yahweh, being the true name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly refers to as God. Yahushai being the name of his only begotten Son, man, who the world ignorantly refers to as Jesus. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Salutations to the sincere Akim that puts this truth with no due diligence and sincerity. Yo, another day in this fucking wretched kingdom, man. And what I want to go into today is over here in the UK. Keir Starmer, although we already knew it, because we are not in the dark, we are not children of the dark, we're children of the light, as pursuant to the writings of the Apostle Paul. Yeah, we knew that as soon as they started pushing these digital IDs, even as a concept, that they were moving ever so closer to the RFID Microchip technology, man, being pushed through, man, for the use of transactions, for the use of interconnectivity to the Internet of Things, and ultimately, man, digital slavery, which is the end goal of these elites. Now, you have a situation where someone literally doing a 3-point turn in the middle of the road, like ridiculous. But anyway, you got a situation whereby at present, digital IDs are not law within the UK, and they've been toying with this concept since the time of the Tony Blair Labour government, man, about literally having one form of ID, digital, being able to carry all your credentials in terms of your identification, so no need to carry a driving license, no need to have bank statements or any sort of other financial metric, credit cards, essentially having your Apple Wallet that's on your phone or your Samsung Pay all on one biometric device, because it's going to have your biometrics on it as well. So it's going to be there also interlinkable with your home devices as well and your utilities. So essentially it will serve as your travel document, your carbon credit monitor, your central point of access for your bills, your financial hub, and that is Revelations 13 and 16 in a nutshell, man. Where, as it roughly paraphrasing, he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And I know man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark that had the mark of the beast, or the number of his name, roughly paraphrasing. You know, but the end goal is to have the people in digital slavery. Now they're pushing a narrative whereby Keir Starmer suggested it. There's public backlash. People are signing petitions saying they don't want it, and they're getting the people into a false sense of security of, oh, see, we suggested digital IDs and the people rebelled against it, so we're going to hold back and not push it through. But at the end of the day, you see, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Though his words were smooth and butter, war was in his heart, pursuant to, I believe, what Psalms, the 55th chapter, 51st, but within the Psalms, it specifically quotes, man, that this man's words are smooth and butter, man. But his heart is always there, prepared for war, man. Whether it be literal physical war in terms of like direct shells and bullet shells to brains and bombs and death in that manner, whether it's biological war, spiritual warfare, psychological, this man is always prepared to destroy. Yeah, always, man. That is the nature of an Edomite. Then they're demons, man, and physical incarnation. They're literally incarnations of Satan on the left-hand side. They're demons, man, and they come not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy, pursuant to John 10 and 10. However, Yahushai and the right represent the lights, man. The hopeful elects being us ourselves, man. Here to warn you, Jake, that regardless of what these devils are saying in regards to rolling it out voluntarily first and foremost, and you being able to still navigate somewhat, but it will just be a bit more difficult if you don't have this digital ID. Listen, that's all literally just smooth speech, smooth talking. They're going to make your life incredibly difficult if you do not have this new form of digital ID, man. And it is going to come. It's prophecy. It must needs happen. We're going to enter a time soon enough. It could be next year, could be at the end of this year, Lord willing. It'll be soon, so we can, you know, just get this show cracking and get things moving. There's going to come a point in time where you're really going to need this digital ID, man, in order to function. They had an MP on Good Morning Britain, or one of those TV shows. She basically came out straight and said, listen, without the digital ID, you are really going to struggle to get work. You're going to struggle to get yourself into work. You're going to struggle to essentially amalgamate yourself into the system. You're basically pretty much going to have to live off the grid. Now, well, what have we been telling you, brothers, for the longest, man? There's going to come a point in time where, you know, yeah, fair enough, you know, unwillingly, you might have to just use the app, yeah, until shit hits the fan, and then ultimately it's a decision of, are you going to allow this man to insert his chip into you, man? And that's going to be the ultimate test, whether you're going to stand by your Yahweh and have ultimate faith in him, or whether you're going to fall to this system where you get told by your boss, you can't work anymore with us until you take this implant, which is going to be the next progressive step after this app. It's just the natural order of things, man. It's just literally the next natural thing. They're going to amalgamate everything into this app, and other countries are going to have replications of it with the digital currencies, the CBDCs that they've been working on but have been quiet about, and the universal basic income. All of that's still there. All of those projects haven't been forgotten about. Esau Edom still has those in his back pocket. But what they're now trying to do as smoothly as possible via the path of least resistance is to find a way to systematically embed these RFID microchips, man, into their day-to-day operations. They're trying to literally normalize the concept of having a digital ID. Now, people are still regurgitating the concept. They're pushing back on it, and most people are not with it. But there's gonna come a point in time where you're just gonna have to get down with the program or not be a part of their system. And that's when you're gonna have a decision to make. Are you gonna stand with your Yahweh, or are you ultimately, man, going to allow Esau Edom to reign over you as your Lord, man? And by taking that chip, man, that is the decision that you make. Of course, like, you know, using wisdom, like I'm saying, and I said at the beginning of this video, for now, whilst it's not officially law, quote unquote, you know, I mean, my personal opinion, speaking as a man, I ain't a fan of getting no damn app. But let's say, for example, you're gonna ask me, are you able to use the app to work if it becomes law? Yes, you are, because ultimately speaking, that is not the mark of the beast. It's a precursor to the mark of the beast. But the mark of the beast, in terms of the absolute no-go, is when this man rolls out the RFID microchip. When you're put in a situation where you either got to literally get an implantable chip, man, make that incision, that blood pact with this devil to work, that's when you got to, that's when your radar's got to literally go straight up automatically, and there's got to be a straight up fuck no. Yeah, you got to be willing to literally, man, die behind this if you got to, because Esau Edom, like I said, is going to make life extremely difficult without this chip, man. But you got to be willing to ride for the Lord, and the Lord, ultimately speaking, will make the impossible possible for you if you're literally sincere and put your trust in him. That's why we're out here vehemently, man, warning brothers. That's why we're telling brothers to get right. That's why we're telling brothers to stay spiritual, study, read up, because wisdom and knowledge is truly going to be the stability of our times. We're coming into a time where the UK government is round the corner from introducing digital IDs as the norm for the whole nation, man. Whether you're a normal Joe Blogs on the street, whether you're a multi-millionaire, whether you are the CEO of a tech company in this country, soon enough, if you want to work, you're going to need to come onto that system. And it's not going to be about immigrants. It's not going to be about what's it called, terror prevention, because they got all the technology already. They got the biometric passports, they got the need for the national ID card. The criminals are not just going to suddenly turn around and say, oh, I don't have my digital ID as well, I can't work. They're just going to continue circumventing the system, which has been designed to be circumvented. But they're using this narrative of the immigrants to fool the masses, man, the stupid ones. But we know we're not children of the darkness, like I started this video off saying. But we know that just because 2 million plus people have signed a petition against the digital IDs, it doesn't mean they're not going to roll it out. I guarantee if they ask people if they'd be willing to get locked down during the CV-19, or more than 2 million people would have, pretty much everyone would have said fuck no to that. But guess what? When the laws came and Esau Edom came down on the people, and it got made literal law, they had the police patrolling the streets, no one had shit to say. When shit hits the fan and people need to literally survive, because back then it was just holidays and seeing people. When it's literal survival, food, a place of shelter, water, you know, the survival of your children. If you're outside of the loop with your Yahweh, a lot of people are going to bow to it. You're going to see family members get weak. You're going to see people that you thought were actual brothers get weak. But that's why, again, we got to pray that the Lord maintains his Holy Spirit upon us, carries us through this time to conquer. We're going to need a miracle, but yet we believe Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to deliver us through faith. Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, man. For by the elders obtained a good report. Remember that. We're going to have digital IDs in this country. RFID technology in Britain, guaranteed facts. It's going to be a global technology, and every single one of these nations is going to roll out an equivalent. The Lord is showing you the signs. If you're out here 1 foot in, 1 foot out, get the fuck right and start getting your relationship with your Bashem Yahweh Shai intact. Because I'm telling you, perilous times are coming, man. Shalom.